this video after close trade Wednesday 8th of August 2012. Hope you had a good day's trading day. Well, another day of very quiet low volume activity. Only about 1 million contracts traded. It was at times incredibly slow. We had a few kind of little breakout kind of moves, but a little bit frustrating. Did a little bit of myself today, 3.25 points after 4 trades, but let me just show you a setup that was kind of nice. The thing I didn't think I communicated very well in yesterday's video about the 4,500 tip bar chart. Let's just kind of have a look at this, which I was saying that with the last 2 days activity we'd had these quite similar patterns in terms of pullback to end of trend. We had initial kind of profit taking by the professionals on this kind of left shoulder here. This one quite unusual. We kind of sell off and then we make Rambo patterns, run out of juice basically, kind of with exhaustion, no demand up here with Rambo patterns up at the top, and then we kind of sell off. But what's unusual about this is we've not got exhaustion buying on the left shoulder here or here, and all of the exhaustion signals that we see on better momentum are coming here on the dips and kind of giving us the energy to kind of get through and kind of keep going. That was what's kind of unusual about yesterday's kind of pattern. I didn't communicate that well. I think we're going to break out to the upside. We're in this kind of zone at the moment where we've had 3 days very low volume, very low range kind of activity, and we're waiting for a volatility spike. So the question is which way it's going to go. My guess is it's going to go higher because we're kind of putting in these patterns where we're running out of sellers. The sellers are trying to get these moves going, but they're not able to get as much past 1390. So with the overnight activity, we kind of came down into kind of Rambo patterns, bullish divergence and so on. We kind of popped to the upside. There was a nice little kind of intraday reversal here that got on board, and I'll kind of show that in a little bit of detail. Let's just back up to the 40,500 tip bar chart. So we've had our exhaustion buying on this chart, but we're hanging around stubbornly above this resistance level. We bounced off it today, so resistance becomes support. So this is potentially an area where we're just building energy in order to have another crack at the upside. And again, this is showing with yesterday's activity here that we had exhaustion selling on the downside. So in the last couple of days we've actually had, or Monday, Tuesday, we actually had quite a lot of downside selling, getting rid of those sellers. They're all maybe positioned short. They couldn't break us through 1390, which is what's holding, and that's why I'm saying that I'm thinking this is going to kind of break out to the upside. On the Euro chart, we're sitting right underneath a resistance level, so potentially we could crack through that into an uptrend on the Euro chart. If we just go to the 13,500 tip bar chart, again, same kind of thing. Our exhaustion buying happened way back here. We've had our pullback to end of trend, and then in the meantime we've had this exhaustion selling here, and it's just not got us anywhere. Bullish divergence today, and we're just sitting right under this 1400 level. Just on this intraday trade on the 1500 tip bar chart, so we kind of bottomed, made a little bit of money here coming into this pullback to end of trend. It was a bit difficult to kind of finesse this. I had a trade that actually didn't get taken out at the highs the first time into this, but there was a nice little reversal trade that we got. Again, exhaustion selling at this point here that we bounced from, so we kind of run out of sellers at this point, and we kind of cracked on the other way. Kind of knew that this was going to break out into this type of a move, because on the 4500 tip bar chart you can see all of these blue professional bars sitting underneath that level, and that was right here underneath this kind of 96 level here, and that's a little bit what I call a gathering. All these blue professional bars kind of taking positions before a breakout. Bang, we get the pop. More kind of blue professional bars activity at the highs at 1400, kind of potentially taking profits here, and we're kind of at the end of the day we're kind of back up at that level trying to crack through 1400. So I don't know, I wish I was more convinced that we were the direction that we're going to go in, but I just have this feeling we're going to pop to the upside because I've got this slightly kind of bullish bias with all these weekly charts, risk-on charts, where the weekly support levels are holding, and we've tried to sell off at various points over the last 3 days, and we've not managed to do it. We've not managed to crack through 1390. So we're back up at 1400. So just watch for that. We're due for some really nice volatility. The last couple of days have all 2 or 3 days have all been about today was about 8 points in range, so we're due for something big, and I'm just wondering if we're going to crack to the upside. But if it heads down, I'll jump on board a move to the downside as well. But my bias is just to the upside here. Anyway, I'll tag on that little day trade here. I was just so tired and exhausted after I jumped on board this little move here on the 1500 tip bar chart. I was long at 95.75, which was just underneath this resistance point. I just took 2 points on the way up here. It was good for 4, but the market had been so slow. I'd been kind of trading for about almost 2 hours there. I just wanted to quit and be done with it. So anyway, I hope you traded well today. Kind of looking forward to tomorrow. 75, long 95 to 75. Just because we've rocketed up here, what I think is happening is we're going to break to new highs, and we did was kind of made a bottom. 1500 tip bar chart kind of overnight made a bottom here, and then this was a spike down, exhaustion selling, and we just kind of rocketed through there. Those 2 blue professional bars midway through this sequence here, breaking of the highs of those is kind of professional accumulation, kind of getting this move going. So I think we're going to break through pullback downtrend here. So around 96 is typical to find a little bit of resistance kind of coming in there, but we've broken above resistance here on 500, so good chance we're in an uptrend here. On the longer time frame tip bar charts, 13,500. With this activity kind of overnight, we found support here. We're bouncing off support on 40,500 as well. So let's see, just hoping for a little bit of a pop. I'm just gonna move my target to 97.75. I'm just looking for another couple today, so let's see if we get a pop above to new highs. Minutes later, here we go. We just kind of pulled back a little bit, but we've just got a little bit of activity kind of going on here. Blue professional bars. I think this is jumping the creek. We've got resistance here on the 1500 kind of come in, so I think we're going to pop slightly similar to this level here. What is that one? 6.5. Yeah, 6.25. So could well see us just break into an uptrend now. We've got 3 kind of resistance levels. We're above it on 500, just under it on 15 and 45. So for a real nice kind of change in trend here. Just tested the lows, bang, and run to the upside now. Just looking for 775. Here we go, 96s. Let's break, run some stops. Well, we're just sitting at break even basically. Above resistance on 500, under resistance on 15 and 45. Bunch of blue professional bars here under resistance of 45. Looks like a gathering pattern, so once this goes, if it goes, it could be a fairly big move. I'm just looking for 2 points, but it's just hanging around really slow. But this is why I think it'll go, because we've got support. Resistance becomes support on 45. So just have to be patient, just wait for it to finally pop. Once it does, we'll run some stops. So let's see. Here we got the pop through 96s. So coming through resistance here on 15 and 45. It's a Rambo pattern kind of initially. Not too worried about that. We might kind of just lose a little bit of energy, but we've got this selling behind us, so we kind of got rid of a bunch of sellers. So let's see. Here we go. It should get interesting. Just need 775, please. Another point. Just out. 775 for 2. Excellent. Which gives me 3.25 after 4 trades, and way too long in the market. Was it 10:13 a.m. Chicago time? So painfully slow. Finally we got there. So that's me done for the day. Hope you traded well. See where this kind of goes. Certainly kind of broken out of resistance here, so could see this kind of be a fairly big move, but it's just been tiresome today.